Well, what can you do to help? First of all, we want you to avoid telling them that they're wrong for the way they're thinking or feeling. If someone shares information like that with you, we want to listen. If you tell someone that they're wrong, do you think that they're going to keep on talking to you and being open and honest with you? Probably not. So we don't tell them they're wrong. We want to keep on listening to their story. We want to find out just how far along that path they are between their thoughts and their actions. And avoid trying to be their counselor. You don't have to be anybody's counselor. High schools and middle schools and in our communities, we have counselors that are trained to deal with people who are struggling with these issues. You and I, we're not trained, so we're going to talk to a trusted adult, share that information. I can be a good listening friend, but I don't have to try to be my friend's counselor. And never promise to keep this secret, never. I know that I could say to my best friend, your life is more important to me than our friendship. And I might have a friend that's a little bit upset with me for sharing a secret, but I would rather have a friend that's upset with me for a minute than a friend who isn't here anymore. So I'm not keeping that secret. And we take every suicide situation seriously, everyone. I have a student in one of my classes, she was with me for Spanish 1 and Spanish 2. And then even after she wasn't in my classes anymore, she became a friend. She would come visit me at lunch and after school. And she shared a lot of things with me over her high school career. She didn't live with her parents. She lived with an aunt. She didn't get along at home. She had a boyfriend all through high school, on again, off again, and lots of things going on there. And she shared very intimate things with me and always said, Ms. Ferraro, don't tell anyone what I'm telling you. And I never would have, except that one Friday, that young girl left me a note on my desk. And it said, Ms. Ferraro, I love you, and I want to thank you for listening to me and for being my friend, but I'm done. I'll see you on Monday. And I knew what she meant when she said, I'll see you on Monday. So I went to the office and I got the address of where she was staying with her aunt, and I got in my car and I drove over there. And she was there, and so was her aunt, and I told her aunt everything. And her aunt had no idea of the struggles that this young girl was going through. And she took her to get help, and she got help. She went on and went to college, she got a career, she got married, had kids, and a bit ago I did a presentation, it was on Facebook, and she messaged me. And she said, Ms. Ferraro, you saved me once. And then she shared with me what her plan had been for herself that weekend. And she had her suicide plan in place, except that I wrecked it, because I took that very seriously. And so we take every suicide situation seriously. And then ask these questions. We're going to ask some really hard questions. The first one, are you thinking about suicide? That's an uncomfortable question to ask. It's an uncomfortable word to say, but I'm going to say it. Because if I'm noticing signs in someone and I'm thinking that they're struggling, if I say that word, then that person, it's a relief to that person. They know that I'm safe. They know that if the answer to that question is yes, that they can share that with me. And so I'm going to ask, are you thinking about suicide? And then, do you have a plan? We know that it's very imminent to get someone connected to help if they have a plan already articulated. They're further along that path. And thirdly, have you ever attempted suicide before? Remember that statistic of 80%? That 80% of people who die by suicide have made a previous attempt. So that's important information to know. And then we ask, how can I keep you safe for now? Maybe I just keep on talking with that person and listen to them longer. Maybe we make a phone call together. Maybe I walk with them to some help and to someone. But I'm going to help them and work with them and stay with them. I want them safe for now. I want to bring them to water level, ready to move on to the next step. And time, I mentioned this earlier in the presentation, that time is the most important thing we can put between a suicidal person and their action plan. So there's why I want to keep on listening and keep talking, mostly listening, to their story, to create that time between the thoughts and the actions so that I can be a helpful friend. And take them to or tell a trusted adult. That's a very important thing, especially for a young person, whether that trusted adult be a teacher or a parent or a pastor, a rabbi, a coach, someone else's parent, any parent. You do not have to harbor that responsibility. You take them to or at least tell the trusted adult. And connect them to resources for hope and help. We mentioned some. We're going to give you a list of some further along in the presentation, but we can connect that person to the hope and help that they need. We want you, if you see something, we want you to save something. take a screenshot, share that with a trusted adult. If you see a dark post, use all the technology that you have at your fingertips and be a life-saving friend. 1 in 4 people will experience a mental health condition, but some very encouraging information that most do not go on to die by suicide. A study of 100,000 teens with depression found a decreased rate of suicide within the first month of treatment. That's regardless of whether they use psychotherapy, medication, or both. And we give you this picture to kind of help you get your head around how big that number is. That was a huge study. This is a picture of the Rose Bowl where the UCLA Bruins play. Holds about 95,000 people. So that's a lot of teens that were studied. And the important information there is that within 30 days, there could be a decreased rate of suicide attempts. Our program director says, can you just give us 30 days? And most likely we can connect you to the help that you need. Most likely we can help you to begin to feel better and to move that needle away from hopelessness and despair. Now, some people struggling with depression do just need psychotherapy or talk therapy, counseling. Sometimes there are medications that are required for people to get better. But 80 to 90% of adolescents that seek treatment for depression are treated successfully using those 2 methods. Self-care strengthens mental health. And that, coupled along with other support services, can really reduce suicide risk. And there are many different ways to take care of yourself. We've kind of divided it into 3 arenas here. In the physical arena, there are lots of different activities that you can participate in. Exercise, if you sleep enough, breathing, you can do yoga. I'm sure if you made a list, you could add a whole bunch of things to that. Emotional ways to take care of yourself. You can pray or meditate, journal, make a feel-good playlist. Music can be extremely beneficial in this area. Be kind to yourself and others, set a new goal. And then social things that you can do. You can call or text a friend, limit screen time, avoid negative social media, reach out for help if you need it. All of these different ways to manage your own self-care. Needing mental health support doesn't make you weak. It takes strength to open up to someone. Very important for you to know because it takes a lot of courage and it's a brave thing to be able to step forward to someone and share that you are struggling, that you need some mental health support. There's a crisis text line we want to draw your attention to. We know that you are more likely to text a message than you are to make a phone call. And so 741-741 is a crisis text line. And if you text hello to that number, really any word, hello, help, talk, speak, then you can be in contact right away with a trained crisis counselor. And I did that. I texted hello to 741-741. I waited about 30 seconds, and then I got a response on my phone. And it said, hi, my name is Miranda. How can I help you? And she didn't say, what's your name? How old are you? Where are you? Where are your parents? Why aren't you in school? None of those questions. I was simply instantly put in contact with a trained counselor to either get help for myself or to walk a friend through some help. There's lots of resources listed here for you on the screen where you can go to for help. With Hope is one of those resources for you. And if you want to get involved, there are many different ways you can get involved. And With Hope, you can check us out on Facebook and on our website. We do like to have volunteers. Our high school campuses, and many of them have With Hope clubs. There are community outreach events and ways to earn community service hours if you're interested in that. I'm so glad to have been able to share this life-saving information with you. I want to thank you for your time and for your attention. And if you don't remember anything else from this presentation, remember to never promise to keep this secret.